The world of work is changing incredibly fast, and not least in the Asia-Pacific region. Demography, automation, technology, shifting supply chains, COVID, and last but not least, climate change, have combined to create a so-called polycrisis of huge proportions. The impact on global labour markets has been far-reaching, especially for more vulnerable groups. Public employment services play a central role in helping labour markets navigate a way through these very real challenges to achieve sustainable, inclusive growth. Like many countries in the region, Cambodia has changed remarkably over the past 30 years. The economy has moved rapidly from farming to production and services. A period of strong economic growth has opened up a whole range of new opportunities for its citizens to grow and to prosper. The Cambodian government recognizes that if it's to achieve the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, it must succeed in delivering sustainable growth and quality employment. Attracting foreign direct investment will be absolutely key. According to the ILO, 1 in 4 jobs in the Asia-Pacific region is now linked to international trade in some way. International investors know they can pick and choose where they locate. They want an effective employment service that can match supply with demand. They want a skilled pool of available workers. They want coordinated labour market ecosystems that listen and respond to their needs. In such a competitive world, the Cambodian National Employment Agency is the first to recognise that it needs to embrace new ways of working to attract inward investment, move up the global value chain, and generate more and better jobs. Over the past 4 years, the joint Japan-WAPES project has been doing just that. It's helped the NEA use international experience to co-create better ways of delivering its services in ways that best suit the Cambodian context. Here, to tell us more about the rationale and the mechanics of the initiative, is Fumiya Higashira from the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare, who is coordinator for the joint project.
The Japanese Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare and WAPES are committed to working together to help members achieve sustainable, inclusive growth in the Asia-Pacific region in accordance with the long-term strategy of the WAPES. Providing practical help to PES to deliver better services to job seekers and employers is central to this. The Japan-WAPES project brings together a wide range of international partners from the Japanese Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare, the Korean Employment Information Service, and Australian-based APM Ingeus to share best-in-class experience and technical expertise. The Cambodian National Employment Agency was the first PES to be supported by the expert team. Like many countries in the region, Cambodia has achieved impressive economic growth, doubling its GDP over the past 20 years. However, according to the UN, if it is to reach its Sustainable Development Goal target by 2030, it now needs to focus on improving labor productivity and moving into new, more advanced, higher value sectors. This means the NEA embracing a clear performance assessment framework to create a culture of continuous improvement. This means making services more demand-led by listening to what job seekers and employers really want through customer insight and satisfaction. This means the NEA strengthening the way it helps partnerships and the way it coordinates its work with them to continuously scale and upskill citizens and to improve labor market transitions.
Let's try and break this down a bit further. I would like to bring in NEA colleagues who will give us a little more detail about what they have done to achieve these objectives.
We have worked with the experts to develop two tools. The first one is a performance assessment framework, where we have engaged people at different levels and set out a clear action plan to drive progress. The second one is conducting a customer satisfaction survey to give our job seekers, employers, training providers, and other stakeholders a voice in shaping and improving our service. Looking first at the performance assessment framework, we agree 3 priority areas where we want to see an improvement in our service. And we set a key performance indicator to measure progress. The 3 pillars were increase in the number of service users, reduce skill mismatch, and increase the number and effectiveness of the staff through capacity building. Listening to the people who use our service is crucial if we want to harness their experience and improve our service. And we have adopted the survey methodology from other countries. The customer satisfaction survey has begun by focusing on timeliness, accessibility, respectful treatment, reliable information, and expected outcome for customers.
It's worth noting that the NEA's core priorities for this project would resonate with their fellow pairs in most other countries. Help more people, improve outcomes, improve the customer experience. Success will be largely determined by how effectively they work in partnership with other stakeholders. In particular, linking training and employability sectors will be crucial to deliver productivity and better quality jobs. With the NEA modernization project nearing its final cycle, let's listen to what our Cambodian colleagues have to say about their experience and what lessons they would share with their PES colleagues elsewhere in Asia Pacific.
During the COVID pandemic, it's quite challenging for us, but we still have been able to stick to our project pathway. Over the past 4 years, we have mixed face-to-face and online meetings, workshops for the customer satisfaction survey and performance assessment framework, and identify 2 model job centers to pilot them. The key outcome and the background are summarized in the project report for those of you who may want more detail. In 2023, we have conducted 2 consultation workshops in Cambodia with over 100 participants, including employers, training providers, international organizations, and job center managers. Key lesson for us, the continuous improvement in the National Employment Agency is a journey, not a destination. And we are clear that the successful implementation will require us to engage staff and all relevant stakeholders.
So what I'm hearing from you is that listening, consultation, and partnership working have provided you with important directions for your continuous learning journey. What can we expect from the final phase of the project? What are the next steps?
We have been using a 5-step action research framework to manage the change process. We have now completed steps 1, 2, 3, fact-finding, planning, and acting. The next phase of the project will involve Team Cambodia evaluating the results of the pilots and reflecting on how to incorporate them into day-to-day systems in the NEA. In keeping with wider digital trends we see in the world of PES, this video summary provides some of the key headlines that will appear in the forthcoming Japan-WAPES joint project report, to be announced soon. Over the longer term, the aim will be to draw together the learning from this project to create a blueprint for other countries in Asia Pacific to modernize their employability services, and hopefully beyond.
Over the past quarter century, Cambodia and its neighbours have changed beyond recognition with stellar economic growth and falling levels of poverty. This progress is now facing stiff headwinds from a period of sustained challenges. The joint Japan-WAPES modernization project aims to provide practical, solution-based ways to overcome these challenges and help the country deliver on its UN Sustainable Development Goal relating to economic growth and decent work. To achieve this, it will need to double down on its efforts to make its labour market better skilled, more productive, and more equitable. In this fast-moving world of ours, we should be under no illusions about the scale of this task. Change management requires a single-minded commitment and buy-in from all levels of an organisation. The National Employment Agency clearly demonstrated during the pandemic that it has the determination and the capability to change the way it works to meet the changing expectations of job seekers and employers. This resilience bodes well for their work for longer-term improvements.